You don't have
talk about how big of an asshole you are. We can talk about
not that big. It's about.
Oh, by the way, we're live.
Yeah, no, it's about that big.
About that big. It's about this big.
Yeah. You moved on from headphones?
The what?
You moved on from headphones?
Yeah, I mean it happens.
Okay.
Yeah, I got some dumb shit with me today. Like he fucking came up to my house and it's been sitting here. So yeah.
Okay.
How you doing, Trey?
Good, man. How y'all?
Doing all right. Yeah.
Too bad. Got the brakes changed on Mike's Jeep.
Mm-hmm. All four of them, brakes and rotors, all four.
Nice.
Yep. You got problems?
Just squealing. Not like just need to be adjusted more than anything.
Well, if they're squealing, it means that they're probably almost fucked, right?
Well, not squealing, like it's like a scratching almost. I think they need to be adjusted, but I might as well just put new ones on anyway.
Yeah, that's what we just did. Like it just.
Yeah.
It's
time.
These days, it's just cheaper to replace them.
Yeah, exactly. In the long run.
Yeah. No, what have you been up to, man? I haven't talked to you in a while.
Working, man.
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of stuff at work, upgrades, and it's all hands on deck. It sucks.
Yeah, sounds like you're tired. So
not too bad. I mean, I got 4 days off, so I'm like, roll.
Fucking A, yeah, good. But yeah, it's still like just been like just busy lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have had time to make this.
A tunic?
A shell jacket. So it's a Richmond. It's a Richmond Depot Type 1.
Well, no. What the fuck did you just put it on the? No, show it and explain that because I'm interested in that. That's fucking cool.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It looks like a coat to me.
Yeah, it's a coat. It's a Richmond Depot Type 1. So you had different arsenals make different jackets. You had Columbus, Georgia, Richmond. There's a few others, but they were the two biggest ones. So this one, like I said, it's not finished yet. I don't have the buttons or the buttonholes on yet, but the liner and everything's working for the most part. But the Richmond Depot
very well. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a kit from shout out to Wamba and White. They make uniforms and they also make kits. So
shout out to who?
Wamba and White. It's like WAMBAUG. They're up there near you somewhere. Minnesota
really?
or yeah, they make uniforms and they make uniform kits and a little other few things. But this is one of the kits they make. So you send them your measurements. They send you everything but the needle and thread. It comes with instructions, wax to wax the thread,
yeah,
the piping to put on the uniform.
Yep.
Right there. So you have to sew that on yourself. The buttons come with it. And you also get to pick your uniform material. So I made two pairs of drawers, the Federal and Confederate version, Confederate undershirt. I made the pants. They were a pain in the ass. And then this is the last project. I might buy another kit. I need to replace my Federal trousers because they're worn and slam out. Mm-hmm. But Richmond Depot made three. Well, it's kind of like anything else in our hobbies where it's as collectors we're actually call them type 1, 2, and 3. But back then it was just we're simplifying it. It's not going to be a type 1 or type 2. So as war went on, they ditched the epaulets, they ditched the piping itself, they ditched on the side here, right there.
Oh, the belt loop.
Yeah, they ditched that too because I don't really use it. It's just you put your belt on, it's done. You're not going to slide it through the belt loops. So they did it with that. I think they also had several because basically, it wasn't made in a factory. Some of them were, but most of them were sent. I think you had to like petition the Quartermaster Depot. This is my son's size, my brother's size, whatever. They would send it to you, and the family themselves would sew it together and then ship it out to their family member. So the families themselves made this for their family. So there's different versions all around. Like, so they would use like the epaulette type material for the belt keeper itself. So it would have a button. It would have a button on the top, so you could unbutton it and then put your belt on and button it back. But this is like one of the simpler styles.
No, it's really cool. Like, that's and that's CSA obviously, but like,
they do both sides. They do federal. I think they have a few civilian stuff. Which I mean, I've already got a federal sack coat that's hanging up because it's soaking wet. I had to wash it. So I mean, like I said, I got to get a pair of federal trousers because the crotch is worn out. They're just old, so I got to replace them here eventually. But like I said, if you go to the well,
too much.
No, just a lot of marching. Thick thighs rubbing together. They were bought secondhand anyway, but they've worn slam out. Like the bottoms of the cuffs on the ankles are worn out. The buttons are rusted because they've been through so much moisture and rain and stuff. But you can go to the website, order what you want, and then you can go to their fabric page and pick out the color and the type of fabric and stuff. It's pretty neat. Pretty neat.
No,
you can choose the buttons.
Yeah, and it's like reasonably priced and everything like that.
Yeah, so if you go online, I think if you buy it from them already put together, I think a jacket like this is like $300.
That's not bad at all.
No, I think this was like $1. It was $1.30, $1.45 maybe.
But you had to put it together. Yeah, but like
I said, I've got plenty of time at work and stuff, and I've got the ability, so I could just sit there and it's kind of relaxed and just sit there, and you're not like sitting there like staring off in space. You just kind of meticulously look at it, play with it. Like I said, the pants, they were a huge pain because the instructions were kind of vague. They're kind of made for somebody that's kind of knows what they're doing. Like they have different skill sets too, like a 1-star, 2, 3, 5-star. So you can gauge how hard it's going to be. The jacket is a whole lot easier than the pants, which I thought this was going to be harder. The pants are really hard. Actually,
that's what I've heard from people. There's a guy now in the hobby. Let's call him Pete for the sake of whatever. And he does mainly federal uniforms and all that stuff, but he hands them and everything like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, pants are. It takes him a longer time to do pants than it does a sack coat or a tunic.
Yep. There's a bunch of people that I hang out with who sell this stuff for a living, and they've all said the same thing. They'd rather do 5 coats to 1 pant. It's I guess if you know what you're doing, like all right, this the wrong side, or right to wrong, and then you sew this corner, it'd probably go be smoother. But like I said, the instructions were kind of vague. Like I said, they're made for somebody who knows what they're doing. So it's not like, let me break it down Barney style for you, step by step, picture by picture.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'd get like this far on a stitch, and I'm looking at it, looking at the instructions, like this ain't right. And then I have to like take the whole stitching out and try to. Figure it out in my head, and I'm like, no, this goes here, because I bought the civilian, or they're called mule ear pockets.
Mm-hmm.
So you put them together this way, sew along the corner, and then flip them inside out, and then sew again, because they kind of like. I'll show them to you real quick.
Cool. Nice shorts, by the way. Very cute.
Shows off his sexy knees.
So this is why they're called mule ear. That's the pocket itself, and they fold open a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there's your.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's tough. Because
So yeah, you gotta
yeah.
put that together so on the inside, and then you flip it inside out, and then restitch the outside to keep it from like opening up on you.
Yep. That
Um,
man, that's
and
a
then
lot of work.
each buttonhole is hand sewn
Yep.
too. You can't.
Well, yeah,
No
that's the thing is
machines.
like, on a modern sewing machine, you can do that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But hand sewing a freaking buttonhole is like, holy shit. Like,
Once you do it a few times and you learn the tricks of the trade, now I don't mind buttonholes anymore. I made a few federal shelter halves, and each one of those has like I think 20 buttonholes. They're not big. They're only about an inch wide.
yeah.
Once you do a few, it's not hard at all. I've tried showing a few friends because there's a few videos or people I try to explain that you push the needle through. It's easier for me if you push the needle through, wrap the thread around the needle, and then pull and tight. It's done. You just keep repeating that.
Yeah.
It's a little tricks of the trade you can find to make it faster.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it on once, if you're doing like a shelter hat, it's just one piece of fabric. It's not hard.
Yeah.
But like the pants here, and I guess the jacket here eventually.
That pocket's a
uh,
bitch. That pocket, what you showed, is a bitch.
What was the idea behind that flap on the pocket?
Easier to get your hand in, so it's not just this slit here. It opens up.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
Because a lot of people in the field would take a regular slit pocket and then cut the top and sew that together so that it would become your pockets. So
yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because I was thinking, like a modern blue jean pocket where it's already kind of,
most of them were straight slotted down.
Yeah, they just followed the outseam.
Yep. But yeah, like if you're sewing through multiple layers of material like that, it's a bitch because you have to get both sides of the material in that button.
And that's heavy material too. Like people don't realize that. Like that's wool, and that's like it's thick as shit. And plus cotton, the cotton reinforcement. Jesus, man. Yeah.
And it's trying because I did it at work because I don't have an iron at work. So trying to like lay it over and keep it still, it's a pain. So you just got to keep messing with it.
Yeah.
So I would come home. I'd do like 1 or 2 stitches, and then about the end of the night, I'd come home and I'd have it set up to where I could iron what I needed. And then the next day when I go back, I could sew what was ironed on it. But even wool's hard to iron. It won't stay over like cotton or
no. You gotta wet it the fuck down as much, and then it still doesn't stay. It's wool,
Yeah.
So yeah, please take that fucking thing.
That is not.
Oh no, it looks great. It looked great. I was getting moist. It looked great.
You get moist. I'll be right back.
Great.
I'm get even more moist.
Mm.
Right down there, the bottom one. This one. Yep. I'll be back in a few.
Ooh, that is comfy. For as heavy as this is, it's actually really comfortable.
Huge.
No, I came up to Mike's for the weekend because he needed help with his Jeep.
His Jeep?
Yeah, his Jeep. I don't want to sit out because then I got to stand back up for him to get into his desk.
Yeah. Find this
Glockenspiel.
So I was reading a book about the 29th. It was a series of books. And I was unaware that the U.S. had an answer to the Screaming Mimes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm literally just right off camera. That's usually where Devin sits when he's here, but
Yeah.
Devin's doing Devin things this weekend. How you been, Trey?
Pretty good, man. How's the trucking doing?
I've been about ready to walk off the job more than once in the last month.
Yeah, you and me both.
The problem is that I don't have another $90,000 a year job to replace it.
Mm.
And with it just being my income.
Try this on. I'm gonna have to get this. Ooh.
Have been handed ein Tunic. Yeah, Trey, there's actually something that I'm kind of starting on my own that I'm going to want to talk to you about. Off
Work or hobby?
Hobby.
Oh, hobby. Okay.
Yeah. That I'm going to want to talk to you about offline at some point, but I'm not quite ready for that to get to that point yet. Ooh, this is comfy. World War I U.S. Army. This is comfy.
You think so now? Take your fucking glasses off. Can't be a faggot.
Can't see without them.
Also, you know how to hook the collar.
I knew how to unhook it.
Cool. Fits you. It's yours.
What?
Yeah, it's yours. So, yeah. With your nasty little shitty beard and everything. Yeah.
This helmet's actually not bad. It's actually pretty comfortable.
It's comfortable. It's light. It's there's nothing to it. Yeah.
It's right along the lines of a.
And also, you did the same thing that I always do. Is I put the chin strap in the back, which you see a lot. Is
more comfortable.
But yeah, this helmet as far as comfort is right in line with
an ACH.
A well broken in ACH.
Yeah, like mine over there. Yeah.
But like your 5-gallon bucket.
It's not a five. Fuck you! I'm gonna go get this. You're gonna see this.
It's an extra large.
It's a fucking large. You fucking retard. You probably wore the same fucking size.
I had a medium.
Really?
Yeah. With my flounder head.
Oh Jesus Christ! I don't have this secured. But no, this is pads are even. Yeah. They're whatever. But that was actually my ACH.
Yeah, it's a 5-gallon bucket.
But that's what I showed you on the
thing.
I had that on there and nobody bitched about it. Anyway, yeah. So yeah,
this Brody helmet is actually really comfortable.
It's not bad. It's really like there's a lot worse.
Even with the dents in it.
Well,
Is this one of the ones you guys shot?
Dude, that's a fucking repro.
Somebody shot it.
Nobody shot it. You got hit with rocks, aka a hammer. I just made them look like that. So,
okay.
But
yeah. This isn't one of the ones.
Is that a Kelly or is that what do you got there, Trey?
It's a Kelly, I believe.
Yeah, it's a Kelly. Yeah, it's a 17A1. Yep. Nice.
Prairie Flyer.
Yeah, I was gonna say Prairie Flower. I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
He makes the fucking. That's what this one is.
Oh yeah.
I had it aged and like I did some work to it, as you can see.
Well, the outside I redid, but the inside is original.
Well, then you didn't get it. You didn't get it from Prairie Flower because.
No, the liner.
Oh, the liner. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, the helmet itself. I don't know. I can't remember where I got it from. But yeah, the inside is original. The liner and chin strap or nape strap, whatever you want to call it, is Prairie Flyer. He does amazing work. It's great.
He does literally the best fucking work in the world. He made this entire helmet. And Stefan does, that's it. He's got that niche like cornered. Like that he's the one. And he's a fucking stand-up guy. I've met him in person plenty of times. Okay. And he is he does great fucking work.
Yeah. Is this what the real ones were like?
Oh fuck yeah! That's exactly what they were, and
so comfortable.
Yep, but he just
with the wool felt insert.
Yeah, but okay, the one thing that he doesn't do on purpose, he doesn't put tar on this.
Yeah,
because the originals they had tar on
the sweatband.
Yeah, on this part, on the paper, the canvas, they had tar, and it would start irritating guys' heads. Stefan doesn't do that, but like these fucking helmets are literally, besides that, identical. And your liner is identical to a fucking Kelly helmet.
Yeah, I got it for 29th ID early pre-war.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Like the 29th, the 41 maneuvers and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck yeah, because that's the thing is like the M1 wasn't adopted until like mid to late 1941. Mm-hmm. And then the units who were deployed, not even all of them got M1s. A lot of them deployed with the 17A1, which is what you have, the Kelly helmet.
Uh-huh.
And it's fucking awesome. What are you looking at?
I'm trying to read chat because I don't have my glasses on, so I have to squint at it.
I told you to take your fucking glasses off because you look like a fucking retard.
I know. It's because this is the only glasses I brought.
You blind fuck.
I'm nearsighted. Leave me alone.
So, all right, Trey, do you want me to throw the picture that you're trying to show?
Yeah. I'm just looking for the 41 maneuvers of the 29th.
Put your fucking glasses on, Jake. I'm not gonna sit. I'm not gonna sit here and have you go.
Need a magnifying glass.
So okay, these are. But okay, so what are these, Trey? What is this picture?
All right, so remember the other night I was telling y'all I've been reading I can't remember the guy's name now. He wrote a series of books on the 29th, basically from the 1941 maneuvers to the end of the war. And this is the prototype T-27 rocket truck. This was our answer or reply to the Screaming Mimes.
The name of it.
Yeah. So this was the answer. They're like, well, we don't have enough artillery because Operation Cobra was going on. So this was we used these there near Brest. And
okay.
Yeah. So the ammunition was in short supply because everything was going through Normandy and everything was priority for Operation Cobra. So the 29th, the 30th, and the 5th Rangers were kind of like on a back burner doing their, do their own little thing of their steady little world. Patton was getting all of the supplies for Operation Cobra and other stuff going west or east, but everything on the west coast of Brest and everything was like it's back burner. We're not really worried about it. So I think the Corps of Engineers came up with this, and this was their reply: the artillery shortage to fire rockets and just wreak havoc. Because they realized the Screaming Mimi was effective. It would fire a burst, you could pack it up and move. Artillery, on the other hand, you have to set up your grid coordinates.
Yep.
So this, you just shoot and scoot. And apparently they were really good. The Germans, and when they were captured, were like, yeah, this is pretty bad. It was effective fire.
Yeah, so wait a second. They're on maneuvers in 41 in that photo, right?
No. This I don't know who this was. This is just a stock photo that I found of the T-27.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
This was like 44. So this is we captured a few Screaming Mimis.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm looking for that's Louisiana maneuvers.
Was that basically the same rocket that they used on the Sherman Calliope?
I believe so. I think that's the same tube and everything. They just kind of cut it down to put, it's a single stack, and you can rotate it a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, rockets are fucking terrifying. Like,
oh yeah,
holy fuck, they're fucking.
They're almost more effective as a psychological weapon than they are an actual
That's
the fucking noise that comes in before they actually hit.
Yeah, you can hear them coming.
Man,
they're not supersonic.
No, and they're but also it's so anywho.
They said it was more like the memes. They said were more psychological because the scream, because they said the blast radius was not as effective and it wasn't accurate, but the psychological of hearing it, seeing it, and then coming in,
right.
it left a huge smoke trail. So
that's the thing is like, so by the time Jake and I were in Iraq, it was like we had the 107s and the 122s that would come in, and they didn't have a smoke trail, and they would just go boom, and it's there.
Yep.
But they would also go in one direction. Like they would. It wasn't like a mortar where you could hear the whistle and then like fucking take cover. The rockets were fucking like boom.
Yeah, they came screaming in.
And then it was so quick, but if you were in that blast radius where it was like directional, it was bad, but it was just terrifying to us, It was Jesus Christ, man.
If they would have been operated by competent rocketeer crews, they would have been brutal.
Yeah, and I probably wouldn't be here, but like it's like mortars where like you could hear those things boom, 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 and then you go, oh fuck.
You got a couple of seconds to take,
You hear that whistle and you're like, ah shit. Yeah, like you said, you have a couple seconds, you can actually get to cover. And they blow up in 360 degrees. Rockets are a different animal. And so these things that I'm seeing, they're probably just the same concept, that like led to what we experienced, but like they're directional. They're very one way, bam. So yeah, very interesting. People get really good at killing each other over the years.
Yes. That's not to get corny, but that's like one of my favorite movie lines from Fury. When he asks him, he's like, "Where do you see it?" And he's like, "What?" That was like, I know it's corny, but like I said, that was one of my favorite lines from that movie.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is within every shitty movie or anything ever, there's a silver lining, and whatever you take from that, that's fine. But like, so. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to research when you're not there.
Mm-hmm.
Ex post facto, all that shit. But it's still like, yeah. Anyway, so the next picture you have, scroll to your right. Oh. Okay, yeah. That's they're being employed. Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big back blast.
Yep. Big. Holy fuck! Yeah.
Those are 38-pound rockets with a 4.3-pound warhead.
Oof. That's gonna fuck your day up.
33 inches long, 4.5 inches in diameter.
Jesus.
Solid rocket, 4,600 yard range.
4,600 yards?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yep. 4.2 kilometers for you metric people out there.
600 miles per hour, 970 kilometers an hour, or 880 feet per second.
Jesus. That's for that size projectile, that's cooking.
Yeah.
So
damn.
Couldn't find a picture of it. This might be the 29th, I'm not sure, but this is another one. This is just the 41 maneuvers.
But only 38 pounds, which means an individual soldier can carry one or two.
Right.
If you're talking an 18, 19-year-old, he's carrying 4 of them just because he's showing off.
So this is maneuvers in 44? Or is the guy just
No,
giving
that's his name. Pinterest.com, G.I. Jeff 1944.
Okay.
41 South Carolina maneuvers.
All right, this is I'm gonna full screen this. Yeah, so that's they've got
No. Those are Garens.
Yeah, I know, but like
yeah, they were everybody that was on the 41 maneuvers got updated weapons for the most part as well. M1s, that's about it. They still rock 1917 A1s, the Doughboy helmets.
Sure.
All the old vehicles stuff, the Dodge WC, etc. There's a album somewhere, the 29th, and there were some good old boys, man. They like had nice hooches and stuff. They made like field made cots. Like they put sticks in the ground and like put I guess their GI blanket and made like a hammock. It's pretty awesome. They had all kinds of wild stuff.
This is in
41. Summer of 41. It was a year. I think it was a year.
Well, here's the thing: is like the my unit that I'm close with and Jake is close with is like the 32nd Division.
Mm-hmm.
They also did maneuvers and they had Kelly helmets, but then they were one of the first units deployed after Pearl Harbor. So I wonder. So okay, the 29th.
I don't remember who all was on the 41 maneuvers because there were two. There was the South Carolina and North Carolina maneuvers, and then there was the Louisiana maneuvers. The 29th had nothing to do with the Louisiana. They stayed in South and North Carolina.
Sure, and yeah, that makes sense. But like, I know in 41, the 32nd, the Wisconsin and Michigan National Guard, were doing maneuvers, correct? In 41. I'm pretty positive they were.
I think everybody did some sort of maneuvers that summer.
No, I don't think everybody did. It was the units that were like, can you set up?
Yeah, I'm yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure like our unit, because the 29th is Virginia and
Virginia, Maryland, National. Well, back then, I think before 41, it was one unit in Pennsylvania, Virginia, Maryland, and
okay. Yep.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, but around that area. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Because yeah, I'm just gonna stop my ADHD brain really quick and just relax for a second.
Oh, there was also one in Tennessee. I forgot about that. If you ever get a chance to read into it,
like there was a unit.
No, there was like maneuvered. Like 41 was the big year for maneuvers. Like
yeah, for sure.
There was one in Tennessee. I forgot about that one. If you ever get a chance to read on it, it was wild. Like there was no go to Fort Lee or whatever, or Camp Lee, Camp Pickett, and do maneuvers. They were just rolling through the countryside, fucking stuff up, literally. Like I think a farmer came to the headquarters one day. It was like some tank or whatever ran over my tractor and all the farming equipment next to it. I want compensation for it. And they were like, okay. I mean, hey, what are you gonna say? Like, yeah, I don't think a tank ran over your crap. Like, no, there's tank treads and
I get that. I feel like you fucked up some person's land.
Yeah,
like you need to compensate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love this picture, man. Like, I'm just looking at all the gear and all that shit, and it's like, yeah, it's very early. But I'm what's weird is they all have M1s in 41.
Yeah, so that was part of their maneuvers, was basically get organized with the new weapon.
Yeah,
so a lot of the units
when you mobilize new shit. Good shit. But like
but they're still rocking Kelly helmets and
also they're wearing like I can't remember the model of the gas mask bag. The guy
it's basically the kidney bag.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they're still rocking that shit and and the guy.
Surprised they are, well, not too much, but I am kind of surprised they're wearing leggings.
Why is that?
I'll be right back and I'll tell you why.
Yep.
I'm not finding a whole lot. Apparently, the interwar period for the 32nd is not well documented.
I could have sworn I read
there's-
something.
There's newspaper clippings of stuff going on in 1934, and then nothing until 1941.
When they got after they got
activated.
mobilized after Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
So I was able to get a copy of the Virginia National Guard yearbook from 41. And each company is like almost completely different. There's like field coastal batteries in here. I didn't know until I got the book. The 29th had a armor platoon. Not a company, brigade, as a platoon. And they were rocking, like, if I could find it, they were rocking Renault 17s, if I remember correctly.
An armored platoon.
Really?
An armored platoon is only 4 tanks.
5. But they were rocking Renault FT-17s in 41.
No, well, they were still in the books, but 40, I think 42, they were disbanded. But yeah, see, here's some.
Holy
they're
fuck.
wearing they're wearing riding boots in this photo.
Yeah, but those are all officers though. It looks
Then
like.
you have it's the medical regiment. Same in this one. They got the riding breachers. This is the medical battalion. Norfolk.
What the fuck?
From the sounds of it, the interwar period was
No.
just fuck.
Oh yeah, we know that. But like I'm just we're learning more details about it now. Yeah, it's like
I take it back. They weren't RT-17s. They were the T2s.
oh the T2.
Oh, that.
Oh, that fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, the thing that had machine guns pointing in every possible
Yep,
direction.
that fucking thing. Yep.
It had one 30 cal turret and then a 50 cal turret. I think it's the T2. Let me look it up.
No, T2 is that rings a bell. But yeah, that
I'm looking it up too.
That man, what a piece of shit that thing was.
Yeah. Now what's the T2?
But so they had one platoon of those tanks.
Yeah.
So that's 5 tanks.
If I remember correctly, yeah.
Yeah, when the tanks were still being designed by infantry branch.
What is this?
Yeah. Bunch of fucking retards.
Yep, when the tanks were still being designed by infantry branch, and the infantry branch said, "We want all of the machine guns." Didn't break it, so that's all I care about.
Yeah.
I can't afford to replace it right now.
But yeah, me either. Like that's why whenever I drop my phone, I'm like, oh, we're good. So yeah, because I've got the case on mine too.
Yeah.
Like the indestructible. But so Trey,
yeah, infantry branch should have never been put in charge of armor development.
that should have been Cav.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
from the beginning.
From the beginning.
Infantry branch should have never been put in charge of armor development because that was the reason why. That was the reason why the M3 Lee tank, the original ones, had 230 caliber machine guns fired by the driver, fixed in the hull.
Yeah,
The only way to aim them was to turn the entire tank.
Yeah, and like what the fuck is the point of that? Like, yeah. Infantry guys, hey, how about this? Infantry guys do infantry shit.
Well, infantry shit is machine guns.
I'm aware. Do infantry shit. You should have, infantry should have never had a fucking say on
how to
armor.
how to design a fucking tank.
Yeah.
No, there's
go.
one that infantry should have had a say and actually got eventually, and that was the grunt phone, the telephone on the back of the tank.
Oh,
that was a field mod.
What?
That was a field model. That was a field model, wasn't it? In Vietnam.
Yeah, and then they started. No, it's actually a field mod in World War II.
Okay.
And then
look, I shared the screen.
And
sorry,
then,
man. I gotta.
It was a field mod in World War II, and then in Korea and going forward. Oh yeah, that thing. 50 cal and 30 cal.
Oh God, what
and
a
30
piece
cal,
of shit!
30 cal in the hull.
What a piece of shit! Like,
So there's a 30 cal here, there's a 50 cal here, and then you have another 30 cal here.
the 50
And
cal
they
was
were-
No.
Yeah, that's
No,
that's
yeah,
50 cal.
yeah.
There's another 30 cal here, and there's another 30 cal in the hole.
What the?
Have you ever?
If just sport.
What was it? What was it? The British AC Independent. I think that's
Yeah.
They had the same problem. Like a bunch of infantry guys were like, "This is how you need to design your armored fighting vehicle and all that shit." And oh God, infantry is good at what they do, right?
And as such, should only do that.
Oh my God, this fucking thing, the TT. Oh my God,
It's glorious.
the M2 rather. Jesus, Proust. Like,
The Vickers Independent.
yeah, that thing with the two turrets. That one.
2. Try 5.
No.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck are we doing here? Like,
Well, the thought was, oh, it's a land battleship,
Yeah.
no, it's not. It's a fucking tank.
but it's a land battleship.
Jesus, yeah. I mean, here's the thing: is infantry can be really fucking stupid. Usually, are pretty stupid. We both did it, and we're very.
We have
Retarded.
moments of lucidity.
But yeah, I mean, like having input and like, oh, what do you want in a fighting vehicle? It's like, fuck, don't even show me that. I'm done. I can't look at that shit.
And Trey, pull up a picture of the Vickers Independent, the British Vickers Independent. That way, chat can see just how retarded the British were.
Jesus
And they're the ones
Christ.
they're the ones who invented the tank. And then the Russians copied it.
And they made it
Worse.
10 times worse.
Yeah, they made it worse.
Oh, way worse. The fucking T-28. Yeah, I know.
No, there was another one before the T-28.
It was the SMK.
Yeah.
Yep. And that, oh, fucking Christ. We're getting really down the fucking nerd.
He's got it pulled
Oh,
up.
sorry. Oh my God. Look at this fucking, like, what are you going to do with that?
Everybody gets a gun. They went to the American School of Artillery.
Well,
Everybody gets a gun.
I think the idea was let's keep the same technology from World War I and storm the trenches, and you just blaze in every fucking direction, and that's it.
Yeah. But it's like,
Yep, I know.
yeah, I mean, every war starts being fought as the last war.
Yep. Always playing catch up.
And but look how fucking thin the tracks are too. Like they're like what, 4 inches wide, something like that.
They're probably 8.
But it's not ideal.
No.
It's not like.
Well, remember the original idea behind a full tracked vehicle was a tractor, an agricultural tractor.
Correct. Yeah.
That's what the M3 was.
Yeah, that's true.
The early Stuart.
Well, a Stuart.
Stuart.
I think it was a decent light tank.
Yeah, for what it was at the beginning, yeah.
And then it was quickly outdated because, oh my God, but like,
oh yeah, this man.
No, it wasn't the SMK. It was the T-35, the Soviet T-35.
the big fucker, like the really big fucker.
Well, it was a T-28 too.
No, I'm
Russian
talking the
T-20.
T-35. The T-35 heavy tank, not the T-28.
This just goes to show you how unprepared we were, like just trying to catch up.
Yeah, and the T-25.
We were unprepared with weapons, so they like put this up as like ambushes and stuff. Yeah, it's wild. I forgot all about it. There's a picture somewhere of somebody like laying on not a hedgerow, but a ditch. He's just like sitting there.
But you know, he would have made us treat it like a real weapon. He made us treat a dummy grenade like a real grenade. I ended up with a scratched cornea out of that.
Let's just let's stick to the fucking task at hand here. We're talking about nerd shit.
Yeah.
We're talking about World War II nerd shit. So
Smitty, pull up the do a search for the Soviet T-35 heavy tank and pull up an image of that.
Yeah, it was basically the modified. Well, yeah, this had the guns instead of the machine guns of the T-20.
It had 2 machine gun turrets. It had 2 50-millimeter turrets, and it had a 75-millimeter turret with a machine gun in the 2 machine guns in the 75 turret. And then it had a driver and a radio operator.
It was a short barrel main gun.
Yeah, it was a short barrel 75.
This is,
or were they 37s and a 50? Actually, I think they were 37s and a 50.
Yeah, that sounds right. These guns were actually pretty decent for what they were.
Yeah, those long barrel 37s.
Yep.
But yeah, that was the interwar idea of what to do with a tank. Let's put more turrets on it so everybody gets a gun.
Yep.
Crew of frickin' 12. Oh, why are people so retarded?
Jesus Christ, yeah.
And that
thing's I'm not sure about this, but I know in the German vehicles,
radio
it's the antenna. Yeah.
Radio antenna. So yeah, you can really highlight which one your command tank is. Because the Soviet tanks, they communicated with flags.
We did too at the beginning.
The commander would, well, this is even into World War II. The Soviets were communicating between tanks with signal flags.
So the French and the Germans had radios.
Well, I'm talking about late in the war. I'm talking like
how
1943, 1944. The Russians are still communicating with signal flags because they don't have enough radios for all their tanks. Yet.
Do you agree with that, Trey?
Yeah, not all the, because the T-34 didn't have enough room for a radio. That's why the top hatch flips up forward so he can stand behind it and wave a flag.
Yeah, the T-34-76. They rectified that with the 85.
Yeah.
But they still didn't have enough radios for all of the tanks they were producing. Their radio production was lagging behind their armor production.
Now, you want to see something really stupid?
Let's do it.
They're pheasants.
That's French.
Zeno would have been a good person to have on in this one.
Well, but
especially with us infantry guys.
Here's the thing: he wouldn't shut up, though. That's
Yeah.
the thing. It's like he would just fucking.
Especially
What the fuck is this?
It's a French tank.
French. Yep, main gun is in the hall. It's French.
So this one right here, these. Guess what they are and what they do.
They're either commander's cupolas or their ventilation trunks.
It's the first.
Yep, they're cupolas.
Oh my god.
They rotate. And I don't mean like they rotate with you. They continuously spin. The idea.
So that way you have an uninterrupted view of the battlefield.
Nope. From my understanding, what I read or was told, a fucking bullet can't go through that when it's spinning.
What? Who the fuck?
It literally spins.
Well, remember when we were talking earlier about the Craig Jorgensen that you've got over there.
Yeah.
And how when it was designed, they didn't exactly know what was going to work and what wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
Tanks went through the same things in the 1920s.
I get that. But you're meaning to tell me that these fucking clowns,
They couldn't afford to test it. They only had one.
if it's spinning, a bullet will not go through it.
That was the idea. They thought that the spinning turret, or the spinning cupola would, the bullet would start impacting it, and the spinning cupola would pull the bullet away.
Jesus fucking Christ! Like, that's new to me. So I'm just now getting the news, But like,
in theory,
it's not a theory; it's a hypothesis.
Well, yeah, but
it's fucking retarded.
But they had no way of proving it without actually shooting it, and they didn't want to shoot it because then it would damage the only one they had.
Yeah.
It's the same reason why they never actually did live fire testing with Mark 14 torpedoes.
Okay, now we're getting into naval shit, which
I've dug into the Mark 14 torpedo a lot. That's dude.
You
want to talk about a story of military bureaucracy and budget cuts?
Trey, are you into naval shit?
Certain parts, like I really got a deep dive on Taffy 3. That was
I love that.
Go
story.
for it.
Taffy 3.
You fucking awesome. Go for it. Because
the USS Johnston.
Where would be at?
Don't touch the boats.
Oh, I'm on fluid. D2.
Oh, yep.
Oh Christ! You guys are gonna fucking go on for fucking hours.
No. If no one's ever looked into it or whatnot, like my buddy, I've been trying to get him to get onto the
Taffy review story you would love, Mike.
It needs to be a fucking movie, but Hollywood doesn't need to get their grubby hands on it and ruin it.
Destroyers versus the Yamato. Destroyers and destroyer escorts against the Yamato and
I know the macro level of what happened. Yeah, but
like they were so fucking.
Dude, Captain Ernest E. Evans, he had to have had nuts this big. I mean, when you're in a DD person, when you have a DD and you're like, fucking, let's bowl.
Yep.
Now the book does also say there's several. Let me see if I pull a picture up. It's pretty neat.
One of my pictures that I have cycling through my desktop's wallpaper is the Johnston right after it was commissioned.
Yeah.
And a year later, it was on the bottom of the ocean. That ship
they just found it.
Yeah, that ship wasn't even in service a full year before it was sunk. And Ernest Evans said to his crew on commissioning day, "This is a fighting ship, and I intend to go into harm's way. Anybody who doesn't want to go along, get off now."
Dude,
fair.
Fucking
That's fair.
Yeah.
So he's a fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He's an awesome. Yeah.
And then there was not just the Johnson either. Then there was the destroyer escort Samuel B. Roberts.
Yep. Sammy B.
They actually named a Perry class frigate after the Sammy B. And that Perry class frigate actually got some fame during the Iran-Iraq war in the Persian Gulf, because that's the one that sailed into a minefield and then had to back out of it.
Yeah.
It actually broke the keel of the ship and they limped it back into port. And then they fixed the keel and then put the ship back into service. Oh, and Mike ran away when we're talking about cool shit.
Well, I've got a. It's I wouldn't say a bad painting. It's a semi. Yeah, it's an amateur drawing, but it shows the cool colors and depths. Where's another one too? Share that one.
Oh, he went to the can.
Poor little fella. Oh, these are some photos I've never seen. Maybe I have.
Have you seen any of the pictures of the Johnson's wreck site?
Yeah, it's a shame they got better pictures with iPhone than they did the actual submarine photos.
Yeah, but no, the pictures
So
of the
share that photo.
he's got a picture up to share.
Oh, sorry.
Whip it out.
Pictures of the Johnston from
I didn't
the
explain.
wreck Johnston.
Yeah, they found the Johnson first, then the Sammy B.
Yeah, they found both of them.
Yeah,
and the
they
paint on
haven't
them.
they haven't found Gambier Bay. That's what they were initially looking for, was the Gambier Bay, but they haven't found that yet, which is the aircraft carrier. So yeah, this is a cool photo because I didn't know about it till reading the book. All of our ships, minus maybe the aircraft carriers, had radar. The Japanese used color coded shells.
The U.S. used two for a while.
That's how we, like, within 5 rounds, we started on target, pumping.
Yeah.
The Japanese used color coded shells to bracket the ships. So you actually had to figure out what the ship was, use the shells, and then literally play battleship, kind of range it in. That's why the camouflage scale on the ship. And I think in the boat, it says a lot of the captains of the ship said when the shell hit, steer towards that shell splash, because you statistically it's really hard to hit the same spot.
That's
both
how
ships were moving.
That's how Ernest Evans got so close to those heavy cruisers.
Yep.
They were almost at short range, small arms range, in some of those cases.
They got enough to drop torpedoes. So I haven't seen some of these photos. These are original. I'm not seeing these.
Well, it was actually established early in the war, and this is something I learned watching the Unauthorized History of the Pacific War podcast over the last couple of months. They actually early in the war, destroyer captains were under strict orders not to leave whatever it was they were escorting, whatever convoy or task force they were escorting. They were ordered not to leave station. And when they were under those orders to not leave station unless they were given permission, all of a sudden their loss rates of whatever they were escorting were going up, like hardcore. Then I don't remember exactly what battle it was. It was early in the war. I don't remember if it was Coral Sea or if it was another early war battle like that, pre-Midway. They were given orders that, okay, engage and close for torpedo attack without higher orders. You do not have to request permission or receive permission to close to engage with a torpedo attack. And once they started doing that, once they actually let the destroyer captains off the leash, they started getting results. Just hands down.
Mike.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're full screen, so yeah. Just
what do we got here?
let me know. This is a very small. There you go. Thanks.
Yeah, Taffy 3 was just a bunch of destroyers and destroyer escorts that were basically, they were just escorting these 6 Jeep carriers, these 6 escort carriers in support of the Leyte landings. But one thing that a lot of people don't remember or it isn't told about Battle of Leyte Gulf and Taffy 3 is they had a lot of U.S. air cover from Leyte. They had all of the aircraft from the escort carriers plus the air cover from Leyte that were covering the.
But the unfortunate irony was that all of the aircraft on the aircraft carriers only had land-based equipment.
Yeah.
No torpedoes, nothing.
Yep.
To fight off.
They were outfitted for ground attack.
Yep, helping out Leyte.
Yep, and
Taffy 3 was called their pants down, basically. Well, not Taffy 3. They were doing what they were supposed to, but the U.S. Navy.
Yep, because Halsey was too busy chasing after the
A ghost
Japanese.
fleet.
When it wasn't a ghost fleet, it was actually there.
Well, it was smaller than what the Japanese that fought.
It was a decoy fleet, and the thing is that yes, all of the remaining Japanese fleet carriers were present, but not a single one of them had an air group on board because they had all lost their air groups not long before at Taiwan, back when it was what the fuck was it called?
Siam.
What?
Or no, Taiwan was never mind. I fucked that up.
Yeah, and then Salvo.
Yep,
that's close.
Just a few weeks, I think it was a week or two prior to Leyte Gulf.
The Heermann survived.
Yeah,
the Heermann survived.
Yep.
I think she was sold to Italy or something. I remember looking it up. I can't remember. She survived the war.
I think it was only the Johnston, the Sammy B, and the Gambier Bay were actually sunk at Taffy 3 or out of Taffy 3. Yeah. I think the rest of the ships were able to break contact when the Japanese decided to turn around.
I'll look up the picture of the shipwrecks here next because Jesus, man.
But yeah, where the Sammy B and the Johnston, their wrecks, their paint is still pristine where it wasn't damaged by shell fire. Even 80 years later, after sitting on the bottom of the ocean.
Gosh, you get peppered.
Oof.
And those big splashes are probably 18.1s.
No, I don't think she got many rounds off because the torpedoes chased her away.
Well,
Johnson
got hit by at least 2 18-inch shells.
Yeah, but she didn't stay in the fight too long because the big bitch couldn't turn. They chased her away.
And fuck that.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, everybody gives the Navy shit being gay because they are. But anyway. Yeah.
Well, you were my princess, and I'll accept you giving the Navy shit. But yeah, fuck that. That's fucking terrifying.
Where's that fucking photo just looked at? Yeah, like this photo. You're a goddamn literal sitting duck. Like you're just watching these fuckers get closer and closer.
But that's big shit.
Yeah, those.
I can't dig a foxhole.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, you're just there. Yeah.
Man, you're simply existing until you don't.
Yep. Man, fuck that.
And the fucking cojones of this one dude is taking pictures like, I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna take pictures before I do.
Yeah.
Because I might not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die, but I might not. But yeah, those super tall splashes are probably the 18.1s from the Yamato.
You want to scroll up a little bit, Trey?
Salvo a shell from the Japanese heavy cruiser in the distance, marked by a circle, falls around the ill-fated Gambier Bay. Yeah, those are 8 shells,
and they're just watching. Like, I mean, you can't do that. The Gambier's just getting pounded. You're just like, sorry.
About that.
Yeah, so it's fucking
thumb tip.
Jesus Christ, those are big fucking rounds.
Mm-hmm. Yep, heavy cruisers typically mounted 8-inch guns.
Jesus Christ.
And they thought these escort carriers were the U.S. fleet carriers.
Yeah.
And they thought the Fletcher destroyers were heavy cruisers.
That's why they were missing very early in the battle.
That's why the Japanese were missing. They were overestimating the range. They were grossly overestimating the range because they thought they were heavy cruisers. With how fast they were firing.
Yeah.
You know, we're still talking that the Fletchers carried 5-inch guns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, those are still 35-pound, 40-pound
shells. I mean, 5 inches is fucking.
But the shells
huge.
are about this long.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've seen. Yeah.
And they still have a separate powder charge.
Yep.
It's in a brass case. The powder charge is in a brass case, and it's a single barrel gun, hand loaded. One guy's loading the shell. One guy's loading the charges.
Locking the breech. Yep.
And then it's auto rammed, an automated ramming, but still they're firing these single barrel 5-inch guns fast enough to make the Japanese think that they're facing heavy cruisers.
Still rocking wooden decks too.
Also, there's a ton of fucking shit on there.
Yeah,
like
stone splinters every fucking where.
Oh my god! I mean,
it was wood on top of steel.
Yeah, this is the Kalen Bay.
Yeah, fuck that noise. Yep. Yep.
There you go.
Yep. And
White Plains and the Heerman.
I was going to say that one's a Fletcher. I think the far one's a DDE.
Yeah. Yep.
Escort. Yeah, the Destroyer Escorts only had 2 5-inch guns and 3 torpedo tubes. The Fletchers had 5 5-inch guns and 10 torpedo tubes.
Yep.
But the story about the aft 5-inch gun mount.
Dude, that made me tear up.
The mount 5.2 on the Sammy B.
Yep.
They fired, like, the gun captain in that turret, in that mount, kept his gun mount spotless. Like, you could eat off the deck plates. Spotless. Yep. They fired everything but 1 round out of that turret before the Sammy B was fatally wounded. And the gun captain was still in that fucking turret. He was mortally wounded. He was still in the turret. Somebody went in there to try to rescue anybody who was still left.
Yeah.
He was still alive, trying to load the last shell into that gun to fire it.
Yeah. He asked them to help him. He's like, please help me load that shit.
Can you help me? He's like, help me load so I can fire
it. And then he died.
Yeah, and then he died. It was the last shell in that gun's magazine.
Yep. The only working gun left.
Yep.
Tungsten balls.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Like, we're not talking steel balls. We're talking tungsten balls.
Are you pulling up the picture of the Rex?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm on full.
I'm trying to look up, like, all I can find is like news articles, like news pages, and it's only like 1 or 2 here and there. Not CNN, Sky News, Military Times. I'm trying to find like an album. Yeah, the captain, Ernest E. Evans, the pilot house was knocked out. He lost a finger and was bleeding. And was like, well, I'm doing no good here because the pilot house is knocked out. So the fucker walks to the back of the ship. There's a hole in the back of the ship into the engine room. So he's like just yelling orders into the engine deck or the engine room, port, starboard, etc.
Yeah, like, he's yelling at him.
Chad.
Yeah, he's yelling at him from after steering, telling him which way to go and what to set the engines at.
Yep. And he was the last person to leave the ship.
He was seen alive before the ship sank.
Yes.
But he was never recovered from the water. They never found his body.
No. See, Wikipedia only has 3 shit photos of the wreck.
But yeah, that whole battle is just... Halsey should have been relieved.
Yeah.
After that, Halsey should have been relieved. Because he had all of the fast battleships, he had all the fast aircraft carriers chasing after a decoy, and he knew it was a decoy, and he was getting the signals saying, "Hey, we got big fucking ships heading towards Leyte Gulf." They knew that the Yamato and the Musashi were heading towards Leyte Gulf because they sank the Musashi a couple of days prior. And they actually engaged the Yamato's task group a couple of days prior. Like, they knew that they watched the Yamato and the Musashi sail, and they were tracking it the whole way through the Philippines.
So that's the gun. Still trained.
I think
basically.
I think that's mount 5-1. I think that's the forwardmost mount.
That's one of the only known photos of it.
Yep, that's the one that I have on my desktop. That's right after commissioning.
And that's him. And see, like I said, you just check off all your Netflix bullshit check marks. He's an Indian.
Yep, Native American.
Yep.
There's the pilot house.
Just fucked. There's a photo of the radar tower.
That's a gun director.
Yeah, one of the optical is like shot through one side. So when it hit it, like threw it out. They said that's like a 500-pound piece of equipment, and it was just thrown out. And there she is, 5.57.
There's farther. I hope they actually have a picture on this site. They don't. But there's actually a picture of the side of the ship, of the side of the Johnston, and there's just a great big perfectly round hole punched right through the steel, right below the main deck.
So here's another one. I say this because I've got a model that I'm going to build of the Johnston. It's like
that was
1/24 scale,
and that was one of the 18-inch shell hits that the Johnston took from the Yamato.
Let me just show you this one.
Jesus Christ.
I think Johnson got hit by 2 or 3 18.1-inch shells from Yamato.
Oh yeah. There's a video on YouTube of them like doing a 3D scan of the ship, and it's like Swiss cheese.
Yep.
So that's him giving the speech.
And the stern is missing. The stern got shot off.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Like all the way up to the aftermost gun mount.
This Miller Island. Mount 52.
Yeah, Mount 52 was the gun mount right in front of the bridge. Because it was 5-inch gun mount number 1, 5-inch gun mount number 2. That's how they numbered them.
Yeah.
So the turrets on like the Iowa class battleships would be 16-1, 16-2, and 16-3.
That's one of the last known photos of 5.57. There's the Heerman Bay.
Yep.
Or the Heerman, not the Heerman Bay. Heerman.
Yeah, Evans had just tungsten carbide depleted uranium balls.
Oh, yeah. Let me see. I'll pull that up. We can do YouTube, right?
Taking a 2,500-ton destroyer full speed against, straight into the nose of a Japanese task group of heavy cruisers and battleships. Like the Fletcher class destroyers were only 2,500-ton displacement, I think, somewhere in that ballpark. And they were going up against heavy cruisers that were in the 10,000 to 12,000 ton displacement range, and the Yamato, which was like 60,000 tons. Yep. 16-inch shell. 18-inch shell. There's another one.
Yeah. From that information, we're looking to see what it can tell us.
Jesus.
There's a funnel. Torpedo launcher.
We actually learn more about what she did in the battle.
You see, she's cut off right there.
And
Yeah,
down there, in that,
that giant.
Fuck.
sitting upright.
There, two there. There it is. See the this periscope? It got knocked the fuck out of the
That's the horizontal.
Yeah, I know. Like,
I can see all of her damage.
That thing got.
And what when we have a record.
Oh man.
Like I said, if you get the chance, man, the book is fucking amazing. Like, it needs to be a goddamn movie.
Has not changed since 1944.
Absolutely.
In that deep of an ocean, lack of oxygen, lack of
So this
sea life,
was the deepest shipwreck ever until they found the Johnson, the Sammy B. She's the deepest shipwreck.
Essentially, preserves the ship.
Marianas Trench.
No.
Johnson took enormous punishment.
Look at
So-
shit like
Very
that.
badly
Right
riddled,
there.
very badly damaged
Shipwreck.
by
It's on
the
the
action on the surface.
So here's the
There's
there you
a
go.
CG model they did of the wreck. I'm going to show you what condition she's
They
in.
did a model of the wreck.
Sitting upright,
Yep, these are 18-inch shell
buried in the
holes.
sand up to
Yeah.
her waterline.
Jesus fucking
Guns
Christ.
strained out. Looking
They got
just as fierce as she did in 1944.
man.
They didn't abandon ship until he told them to. Like that's just
557
fuck,
is just,
man.
it's clear and bright, almost as the day was
Fuck,
painted.
hey, yeah, like that's
It was called the Battle of Mars. And it was
Looking at the
I know
wreck,
it's cliche.
shell that she broke in half.
okay.
I know it's
It's still deep.
yeah.
I know it's cliche shit, man, but the fucking greatest generation. Like, I don't think we would this type of shit would happen today.
Where Yamato hit her. She was really torn up in that area, but she
I don't
Yeah.
think they found the rear, did they?
probably because of the
No.
damage that she took in that first
Yeah, I don't think they
salvo
found that.
wounded
That whole
us.
fucking stern is just gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
It appears
Holy
that one
fuck.
or two of the depth charges that
So yeah, that's where she got cut right there. So all three rear guns were gone.
Fuck, man. Like,
made it, she sank.
Yeah.
This would have happened after the stern.
So right about here.
Free of the bow
Yep.
section. The bow section was forward 2/3 of the ship.
man.
During that first salvo from Yamato, she fired both her primary and secondary batteries.
So no armor's best armor. The first few salvos went right
That's
through her and didn't do
Yeah.
nothing.
Yamato
Primary
was
batteries
also
18-inch.
shooting at a heavy
Hit
cruiser,
farther
but
out.
they were
The
loading.
secondary armor 6-inch shells hit in this area.
Can you pause that?
This is the port bridge wing.
So the way battleship shells work is they are explosive shells, except they have an armor-piercing cap, and that cap has to the fuse has to sense the shell slowing down enough to arm the fuse to detonate the explosive charge. And there was so little metal in the way for those 18-inch armor-piercing shells that they just went straight through without ever arming.
Oh.
Like if they had been firing high explosive shells,
Mhm.
they would have detonated almost immediately on impact.
Yeah. A
Which
little bit of crater in the ocean.
But 18.5-inch fucking shells are, I mean, that
you and I could probably crawl through the bore of an 18.5-inch gun.
well, like that's the thing is like when I was on the North Carolina, they had the 16-inch
They have a
shells,
16-inch.
and that was as big as me. An 18.5, it's fucking
Or
insane.
18.1-inch. But
Still,
I
it's fucking
think
so
I remember reading somewhere that the captain of the Yamato didn't even know the caliber of the guns because it was that top secret.
but
Whew.
so you've seen a US 16-inch shell.
Yes, I have. Yep.
The 18.1-inch shells, they might only be 2.1 inches
No, but
larger
they're
in diameter,
fucking huge.
but they're another 2 feet longer.
yeah,
It's like a 3,500
well, I know
pound
how
shell.
shells work. Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
It's a 3,500.
and I'm
pound
imagining
shell.
this right now. It's like getting hit with a fucking freight train.
Yeah, it's like somebody just launched a Volkswagen Beetle at you at
That
800
explodes.
at 800 feet per second.
Yeah, fucking Christ. This is fucking. I didn't know about like I don't know a lot about naval history, but this is cool.
Because this is where Commander Evans was standing. The
Oh.
6-inch shells hit in this area and killed a group of officers standing around Evans and injured Evans himself, peppered him with shrapnel, and he would fight the rest of the battle. in
Yeah, I
that
think he
position.
lost his ring or pinky finger during
Yeah.
the blast, and they just
Yep.
like wrapped it up like I'm good to
One
go.
6-inch
Let's keep going.
shell went into the Mount 42, the forward 40-millimeter Mount.
Oh,
Stewart
that's
fire
fucked.
there that would eventually force evacuation of the bridge.
Yeah, the barrels are missing off of that gun. The barrels
Oh,
got shot off.
They
God.
walked through the rest of the damage.
And they
and
kept
line of the
fighting.
survivor
Taking
report.
damage.
Yeah,
Started to
yeah.
see the pattern, and
They had main
Tiny
power
hits.
knocked out, and they were
Lieutenant
they were
Hagan's
down,
after
they were
action
down to
report,
1 inch.
he describes 3 hits, one into
Oh my
Radio
God.
Central in the superstructure.
even though it didn't explode, that's still gonna fucking rock the
One
ship.
for the Mount 52, and one that knocked out Mount 51. He gives the time of 9:10. The one that knocked out Mount 50.
Like, imagine being so disciplined that you're putting down times of when shit's being in combat
Yeah.
around you.
51.
You can actually see the uptake from one of the
That was
boilers.
a plunging shot. We got the hole on the forecasting deck.
Oh fuck!
And
They
then
took
I
the
have the
plunging
trajectory
fire
down
too.
into
Yeah, long range. Yeah.
Jesus, Bruce.
which took out 51 from
And
below.
there's no armor on a Fletcher class.
And
Right.
right
And all
outside
that
my
people are
viewport,
shell plating.
Yeah, it's like,
I had to take a picture of that.
but still, you get hit. You're,
Well,
oh my god.
Well, shell plating is the exterior
This
plating.
one shows the hit on Mount 52.
Yeah, I know,
It's like
but
the
like,
shell of the
If
shell.
you look at Mount
Not
52,
like artillery shell.
right outside the
no,
trainer
I get that,
seat,
but like,
you'll see
an armor-piercing round going through plunging fire.
That's going to go right through the keel.
That's what I mean. Like that's going to cause you to sink. You're fucked. It's going to go.
a shell hole. This probably came from Yagi. That shell went right into Mount 52, right into the mount housing, right outside the trainer's seat. He probably never knew what hit him. It hit the 5-inch gun inside and exploded and blew out the back of the mount, which we can see here. It actually came across in an almost flat trajectory.
Yeah,
It also with
They're
the
fucked.
projectiles
Yeah.
below.
Yeah.
they're done.
A trajectory which allowed me to put it back to Yagi. These two mounts were actually disabled an hour before she actually sank. And from then on out,
Oh,
A
Christ.
whole fucking hour.
it was up to 53, 54, and 55. That's Mount 43, starboard side on Johnson. It looks like she took a shell right into her 40 millimeter
Oh
magazine.
my god.
Blew out the back part of that pedestal that gun was on.
And they just kept going.
Dude,
Yeah.
she's still loaded.
Yeah.
She's ready to go.
Oh yeah, there's rounds in there. I can see in the magazine. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the feed
Holy
tray.
fuck, or the feed tray. Yeah. Whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm just like learning.
Yeah. Like I said, I read the book. I was reading the book because I found it at work. I was bored. I had nothing to do. I think I'd finished the book that I had. And I found the book in one of the closets. And we stash books everywhere. So I was like, I'm not a big Navy guy. So I started reading it. The same fucking week they found this shit. The torpedo trainer tower is gone.
What we're seeing here was a devastating blow at about 0940 when two shells hit in her forward boiler room. The uptake going up to the number one stack.
Yeah, but I can see the
blown
hit.
out at the base of the stack, and the whole stack itself has canted back a few degrees and has basically collapsed into the galley, which is all gone. The other half of the stack is up in the debris field, several hundred meters away.
Yep.
And then she's just peppered with 5 and 6 inch shell holes that came from destroyers and light cruisers that circled her at the end after Congo knocked her engines out. She
And then they
lost all of her watertight integrity. So Johnson's bow is largely intact, but it's little full of holes.
But yeah, after her engines were
This is the
knocked out,
port
they got
side
the
of the
engines
bridge
back up
of
and running and
Johnson.
went back into the fight. Granted, they only went back into the fight
You
at
can
like
see shrapnel riddling the director housing.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Yeah,
Knocked it right
She
the
took
fuck
a
out.
blast.
And those are holes this
side.
fucking big. They're not
Yeah.
like little
they're
fragments.
basketball
Yeah.
sized balls.
Yeah, I think
Jesus.
he says in the video it weighs like just the optic is like 500 pounds.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
It pushed
That's
her
what it would look
viewfinder tube
Yep. That's what you were saying.
Yep.
out the right side.
That's a heavy piece of
See it.
equipment.
You can see where it was painted white on the interior of the viewfinder tube. You can see
That's
it
wild.
angled out of the director housing there.
And what's more amazing is it stayed with the ship as it went down.
Right.
Like I don't know if it like did the Titanic thing where it spiraled down and shit, but yeah, most of everything stayed intact. It's
Now,
it's wild.
Lieutenant Bob Hagan, gunnery officer at Fort Johnson, and his crew were in that director until almost the very end when the abandoned ship was called, and they left the director at that time. This hit would have been fatal to anybody left in the director. So that tells me this is one of the late hits after abandoned ship had already been called.
Jesus Christ.
Johnson
Oh, this is nothing. Wait till we get to the Sammy B.
took an enormous punch. We can see it in these wrecks. They were in a fight they were never meant to be in. And the fact that Johnson survived 3 18-inch shells is really a testament to the durability and the toughness of Fletcher-class destroyers.
Don't mention the
Talk
fucking
about-
crew at all.
America, goddammit, America.
Well, yeah, the Fletchers were just an amazing design of ship.
But also, like in that situation, I'd be fucking pissing my pants.
yeah,
Like I'd be like, we're fucking
Like,
done.
a ship that weighs 2,500 tons getting hit by a 3,500
Upset
pound
stomach?
shell, you're gonna
Ibirogast.
fucking feel it.
Indigestion? Ibirogast. Bloating? Ibirogast. Thanks to a unique combination of herbs, Ibirogast helps relieve 6 digestive symptoms to help you feel better.
I
6
should have fucking
digestive
ad blocker.
symptoms. The power of nature.
Oh,
Ibirogast.
shut up.
Deep in
Fucking fat.
So they've been looking for the Gambier Bay. That was their initial project. They accidentally found the USS Johnston. Then they found the Sammy B, and the first thing they found was like the torpedo tube sticking show it in here. They're sticking out of the ground like this, out of the seafloor.
the sea off the Philippines, a remarkable discovery. The wreckage of the USS Samuel B. Roberts, the U.S. Navy destroyer that's torpedo tubes still intact. They could even make out the hull number, 413.
When a ship goes down in battle, it vanishes into the black of the ocean.
Oh, it does? I would never guess.
There you go.
Like,
Same guy, so it's a good video.
This happens to be the starboard side from Sammy B.
Can you tell what that is right there?
That's a depth charge rack.
It's still loaded.
So yes, that is unexploded depth charge stuck in that rack. When you're
Hooker back there.
submersible and you see something like this, you want to stay the hell away from it.
Nah, go poke it.
oh
Fuck it.
shit, dicklock.
What does the munition do?
Do
at
something.
Over
Do
3
something.
miles down. We don't know. I don't think anybody knows.
Let's hit it with a
Earlier
rock.
this summer, June 2022, Caledon Oceanic
being weird.
announced it had
Stop being
found
weird.
the shipwreck
Do
of
the-
the famed World
do
War
the
II destroyer escort
thing.
USS Samuel B. Roberts.
Hurry up.
Right?
Sand beat torpedo tube.
That's
That was found
scary.
on the end of
This is the first thing they found was 3 torpedo tubes standing straight up, and like that's because only the destroyer escort had
Had a
3
triple.
tubes.
Yep.
The destroyer had 5. So they're like, "Oh my god, we found the Sammy B."
one dive that went to go look. And when the guys on that dive came back and showed me the picture of the triple torpedo tube, I went, holy shit, we just found the Sammy B. Roberts. She was so small, we really did not think we had a conceivable chance of finding it. The Sammy B has not changed one iota since 1944. In that deep of an ocean, lack of oxygen, lack of sea life, organisms, just the overall environment
There's the
essentially preserves the ship.
They're about what, half the size of a DD?
I know they were over
Roughly.
1,000. I know they were over 1,000 tons. They were
Yeah,
small.
they were like, like so the DD had 5 guns, like he said, that they only had 2.
Yeah.
I want to say they're like half the size. So I mean, they're
They were
completely
never-
dwarfed.
They were never intended to be in that kind of a fight in the Pacific. What the destroyer
No.
escort was built for was to escort convoys across the Atlantic and to hunt subs, hunt German subs.
Yeah, they were very tiny, but they were quicker to make. That's why they made a bunch of them.
Yeah.
According to the book,
And they
they could just pump them out.
like the Fletchers could do like 32 knots. The destroyer escorts could only do like 25.
Okay.
So we have a time capsule. Like Slater, Sandy B has hedgehogs up on her bow.
Yep. Designed for hunting subs.
They're painted black.
That's racist.
Just to the right of the 40mm tub.
Yep.
There's the hedgehogs. Because of the way that the main deck is buckled, the 40mm tub is almost shoved right down into the hedgehog area.
And
You can see the hedgehog lockers are crumpled by the main deck forced up against the superstructure. You know how volatile these things were on the surface? What does a hedgehog do at over 6,500 meters down? Victor,
Not a lot.
the pilot of the sub,
No, they were impact
didn't
detonated.
notice it at first. When I showed him the imagery afterward, he said, "Oh, these are the hedgehogs. You're pretty close to them."
Yeah, they were impact detonated. So
What you're seeing
Yeah.
here, this happens to be the starboard side from Sammy B.
Yeah, I wish I had video of like the previous where it shows like
Take that
all
rack.
of the dotting of how
But
fucked
yes,
up it was.
that is a depth charge, an unexploded depth charge stuck in that rack.
Hit it with a hammer.
What does the munition do at 6,800 meters? Over 3 miles down. We don't know.
yes,
We'll
we've
find
covered.
out.
I don't think anybody knows.
You've already
So,
said that.
When you're in submersible, you see something like this,
Is there...
you want to stay the hell away from it.
To learn more about the deepwater discovery of the shipwreck of the celebrated.
I wish they did the one like the previous one, U.S. Johnson, where it showed it like 3D sketch of everything peppered. Is this
Yeah.
what we just watched?
I think that's one we just watched.
That's
Yep.
the Jones.
I just watched that.
No,
Yeah.
Saturday. What was this?
Anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
yeah, it's just
So let me look that up. I should do like a size comparison.
Do a size comparison to your
to his Johnson.
small Johnson.
He's going to compare his Johnson to his Sammy B.
Say that, Trey. Why don't you go ahead and sauce Johnson? I'm
going to show you my Johnston.
Usually, we would have to get married for that.
That was back in the day, not now.
What the fuck is this here? Gopher trap. Oh, I was.
The thing that didn't work.
I've got new ones out there and they're not working.
And that's because there's not enough firearms involved in them.
Well, yeah, and also, yeah. But no, I
Or
set them.
flamethrowers.
I set that.
So this is a decent category of ships. So it shows the U.S. Navy versus all of the Japanese. Not to scale, obviously, because this big motherfucker was massive. But yeah, there's the destroyer escort versus the these were the destroyers. These are the destroyer escorts.
There's Johnston.
Yeah,
There's
Johnston Human, Johnston
Sammy
Human.
B.
Yeah. So these three were the destroyers, and these four were the destroyer escorts, and then these were the aircraft carriers. and only the Gambier Bay was sunk.
Only because it was farthest to, it was the one that was closest to them when they
Yep.
decided to all turn around and boogie.
Yep.
And it had nothing to do with it being slower or anything. It was the same hull,
Yeah.
same engines.
Yep. Closest target.
It was just
That was their main target.
Because
But
the Japanese honestly thought they were firing at the fleet carriers.
Yep. The opening shots, the USS Johnston, immediately I think turned left. It was like smoke screen. Once they completed that short mission of completing a smoke screen, he was like directly towards the enemy. We're getting in close, and we're gonna grab him by the belt and punch him.
Yep. Anything to keep the Japanese away from the aircraft carriers.
I don't remember which ship it was, but they got so close and they dumped all their torpedoes. It blew the front. It literally blew the front half of the front hull of the ship off, and it sank like within 5 minutes.
It was one of the Fletchers. What were
The Fletcher, the USS Johnston fired its torpedoes and it destroyed one of the front of the Japanese ships. Like it
what were the
other half off?
What were the other two DDs? I can't remember.
So it was Heerman, Cole, and the whole Heerman and Johnston. You had the Sammy B, the Raymond, the Dennis, and John C. Butler. Which is ironic because the destroyer escort, these 4 are a John C. Butler class destroyer escort.
Yeah. So the lead ship of the class was actually in the battle.
Yeah.
But yeah, the amount of damage that those 7 little tiny fucking ships did to that Japanese fleet was just absolutely insane.
They never recovered from. They never were able to make a full-scale naval attack again.
No. They didn't outright sink all of the ships that they hit quite a few of the Japanese ships, including the battleships. They never hit the Yamato battle, but they
the Yamato had to detour away because of incoming torpedoes, and since she's such a big bitch, she couldn't turn back into battle and recover.
Yeah. But the other ships that they damaged and didn't sink ended up basically getting sailed back to Singapore and turned into floating AA platforms because they couldn't repair them.
Yep.
They couldn't sail them back to Japan to where the shipyards were, and they didn't have shipyards of adequate capacity in Singapore to repair them. They basically limped them to Singapore.
I don't want to go too far on it, but if anyone was watching the chat, this, unless y'all want to, this is I know it's getting late, but this is a good.
Yeah, we'll hit the hay.
We'll just share this real quick, and like I said, it's a very good brief description of it. So it just does you a little breakdown of the battle smart, warships. So that's the picture I was looking for.
Yeah,
so there's a DD, DE. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. One of the Yamato's 18.1 inch turrets weighed the same as the entirety of the Johnston.
No more. 25 10 tons, 2,100. The turret. Well, this is misguided because the turret goes all the way to the bottom basically because of the basket and the ammo. But that bitch weighed more than the whole fucking thing.
One turret on the Yamato weighed more than the entire ship.
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
So the DE was not completely half the size, but she was a lot smaller. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then only just 2.
Yep, and then 3 torpedo tubes.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So after the USS Johnston started going towards the fleet, Sammy B was like, "Hey, follow that dickhead. He knows what he's doing."
Yeah, basically. That's basically what it boiled down to.
So yeah, it gives like a brief description real quick. It's pretty good video footage.
Yeah,
Minus
check out anybody who's watching chat. Check out the Unauthorized History of the Pacific War podcast. Those guys do a fantastic breakdown of the Battle off Samar. Absolutely fantastic breakdown. I think their episode on this one battle was 2 hours long.
Yeah, that's what somebody in the chat was saying.
I wasn't watching chat.
Yeah.
He said it a while back.
The Morgans never made a fucking M67 helmet, but yeah. All right. So
yeah,
Trey, good shit. It's fucking late.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's fucking hit the hay and yeah, good shit.
I'll send you a DM later about that thing I wanted to talk about.
Sounds good, buddy.
All right. Thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll see you on the next